A lot of people have asked me, what is a plea bargain? I signed a plea bargain for 9.5 years. 98% of the prisoners in Arizona in the state system sign what's called a plea bargain. You don't want to exercise your right to a trial because a plea bargain is an offer from the prosecutor to avoid trial. These prosecutors are like used car salespeople. In my case, I asked my lawyer what my first plea bargain offer was, and he says, I don't even want to tell you. He was probably worried I was going to go off and slash my wrists. So the prosecutors start at these very high numbers to scare the living daylights out of you. They overcharge you, and they'll tell you you're facing decades in prison, and you'll be so scared that when they come down slowly but surely over the months of going to court and nothing happening and wearing you down psychologically, in the end they're going to have you in a position where they can get you to sign for exactly the amount of years that they had in the first place. They told me that if I went to trial and lost, if I exercised my right to a trial, you do have a constitutional right to exercise to a trial, but if you do that, it costs the state money. The justice system is a business model. They don't want to spend hundreds of thousands, millions on going to trial. If everybody in the system demanded a trial, it would bankrupt the system, it would collapse the system. So it's imperative that they scare you into signing a plea bargain. They said to me, every time I spoke about drugs on the phone, carried 5 to 10 years. I've got 20 plus charges. If I went to trial and lost, they could stack my 20 plus charges up to a maximum 200-year sentence. Yeah. It took me 26 months of fighting my case to get a plea bargain of 9.5 years. Now, there are some people in prison who are innocent, and the prosecutor will say, we'll let you out tomorrow if you sign a plea bargain. I saw a guy, an abortionist, and they said that to him. And he would have had to admit to some kinds of sex offences. And he says he wasn't going to do it. He hadn't done these, what was alleged. It doesn't care if he's going to be let out tomorrow. He's going to take the case to trial. And I knew this was a kamikaze move. A kamikaze move is something you're never going to come back from. Because you don't win at trial. Trial is theatre. If you go to trial, the state has got all the money in the world to spend, and they'll give you $5,000 to defend yourself. So this guy went to trial and ended up with almost a 40-year sentence. He's probably never ever going to get out. He's probably going to die in there. So there are people of good conscience. Khalif, the story of Khalif, remember Netflix? They told him, sign a plea bargain, admit guilt to stealing this backpack, we'll let you out tomorrow. Didn't steal the backpack, I'm staying in. So they kept him in and broke him down psychologically. They tried to break you down psychologically with every trick in the book. Prosecutors, in my case, they stopped my girlfriend from visiting me. They doubled my bail bond to 1.5 million, so I was moved over to maximum security, living in with the cockroaches and all this kind of stuff. And they'll pull every trick in the book out to break you down psychologically. All the prosecutor cares about is convictions at all costs. Innocence is irrelevant. If they don't convict you, they don't get a score on the chart and a promotion, and the political aspirations are crushed. So it's convict at all costs. So they can plea bargain you away, get you to sign guilt. They've got a gold star on their record. They're up for promotion, and they're up for running for governor or whatever it is they want to do. That's all they care about. Look at Brendan Dassey, Netflix. They said because he said he was innocent and didn't sign a plea bargain, he showed no remorse, so we're going to give him a life sentence. Yeah, so if you get found guilty and you're innocent, and you say you're innocent once you're found guilty, they will give you the biggest sentence possible because you're not showing any remorse at trial. They don't care what you say. Once the system has found you're guilty as far as they're concerned. So this plea bargain system has got to be handled very, very carefully. In my case, I was fighting it for 26 months. It got a little bit stale. I got a private lawyer in, 100 grand. So I was a formidable opponent if it had gone to trial with this lawyer, Alan Simpson. So that got my plea bargaining power up, having a private lawyer, and they negotiated down to 9.5 years. But if you've got no money, heaven help you. They prey on people with no money because you're just fodder for the private prisons, tens of thousands a year in taxpayers' money to get you over to the private prisons. It's a racket on the taxpayers. So yeah, you've got to be very strategic when it comes to plea bargains. Don't sign the first one, hold out, try and negotiate it down, and realize you're going to be in the same situation, the same stress as if you're buying a used car. It's just like that. But you've got to be able to fight back and defend yourself, hopefully get a private lawyer and negotiate your plea bargain down over time so it's satisfactory and you don't end up in trial and end up getting a 200-year sentence like they threatened me with. I saw a guy before me, they offered him a 15-year plea bargain. He was out of Tucson, he was running a drug ring, he said no, 15 is too many. He went to trial and he got a 200-year sentence. Yeah. So that explains what a plea bargain is and the games these prosecutors play. If you are in this situation, I hope this video helps you. Cheers.